Every day in Texas shelters, thousands of dogs and cats wait to be seen and hope to become a loving companion. Allow me to take you on the journey of Peggy, just one of the many beloved animals Take Me Home rescues each year. Sweet Peggy arrived at an overcrowded Texas shelter as a stray on August 19, 2025. She was malnourished and exhausted, and yet, from the moment she walked through the door, she was so loving and trusting. The shelter team began the intake process, got a scan for that microchip. Then, deciding on a name, this special lady was to be Peggy. They worked to give her vaccines and treatment for worms and fleas. During her stray hold, no one came to reclaim her, and no one stepped forward to adopt her locally. But that meant something else. Peggy was now eligible for transport. That's when the Take Me Home team began their mission. Before any dog can leave Texas, there are requirements. The team went to work to have Peggy tested with other dogs to ensure compatibility. She received a heartworm test. Negative. She was also spayed before transport, something we do whenever possible. Peggy's name was entered into our system and shared with our trusted receivers. The relationships that make this possible have taken years to build, and since Take Me Home is run by unpaid volunteers, everyone involved is working entirely out of their love of animals and passion for giving Texas dogs a better life. It is so rewarding to receive a call from a foster, and one of our incredible local foster families opened their home to Peggy, nourished and cared for her while she waited to hitch a ride. Soon after the call came, New Hampshire SPCA had decided Peggy was a perfect candidate for their shelter. There was still much to do. Peggy was brought up to date on vaccines. A veterinarian examined her and issued her a health certificate, which is required for every dog traveling out of state. The transport van was sanitized and outfitted with crates, blankets, pee pads, and water buckets. Each transport van requires an oil change and a full tank of gas before hitting the road. 4 long weeks after arriving at the shelter, Peggy climbed into the transport van, and she wasn't alone. She traveled with a van full of other lucky dogs, all headed toward forever homes in New Hampshire, New York, New Jersey, and Massachusetts. For 42 long hours, our contract drivers cared for every dog, driving, resting, cleaning, walking, and comforting them. They took turns sleeping and driving through the nights and stopped only for gas and for the dogs. It's exhausting work, but it's done with love. On the way to the receiving shelters in the Northeast, a few stops were made to deliver dogs to private adopters, some who drove hours and met our transport van in the middle of the night to get their new baby. After a multitude of winter traffic battles, they arrived at New Hampshire SPCA, where staff and volunteers took over, beginning intake with unmatched care. As each dog stepped off the van, smiles spread and hearts melted. After a full medical check, Peggy finally rested in a clean, comfortable kennel. Her next chapter was about to begin. 6 days later, Peggy's dream came true. She was scooped up by a loving family and renamed Juni B. We think she looks like a Juni B too. She hit the jackpot, but so did her new family. This is Juni B's story, and there have been thousands more just like hers since Take Me Home began. In 2024, we saved 802 shelter dogs and cats. In 2025, that number grew even higher to 926. Countless hours go into education, social media outreach, and fundraising. Each transport costs between $2,800 and $3,200, and we run 2 to 3 every month. None of this can happen without you. You are the reason dogs like Juni B get a second chance, and that other humans have a chance to be with a friend like her. We're honored to do this work, and because of you, we can.
My favorite animal, everybody thinks is a chimpanzee, but it's not true. Chimpanzees are so like people that, some chimpanzees are really not nice at all, just like some people are really not nice. My favorite animal altogether is a dog, because dogs have taught me so much, and dogs are so faithful, and dogs give unconditional love, and I don't like to think of a world without dogs.